Welcome back to the program. Jason, if we can't show that score, because we never did officially say what the final score was, there you go. Central Lafourche 55, Bonneville 13. Score you see at the bottom, Grace King got shut out by East Jefferson, but Grace King playing a little better. That was your opponent in week one. And I would be remiss in not mentioning this, and I'm sorry I didn't do it in the first segment. Coach Kale was the Saints player, NFL Coach of the Week, a great honor. That's got to be special because we were talking at the break. It has happened before to some coaches in our area, but it's not very common, and you get to go to a big gala at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a tremendous honor. The Saints came by, and they did a little filming with us with the team, and it's like I told the guys from the Saints, it's not me, it's a team effort from all the coaches. They work so hard. And the players that play, but it's a great honor. The school got a $1,000 check to spend on the football department, which is always good. But it's going to be exciting. At the end of the year, you get to go and have dinner with Sean Payton and some other guys for the Saints brass. So it's going to be exciting.
And I've heard this for the last 3 years at Central Lafourche. And I know a lot of people, and you have teachers around school sometimes that say athletics is not the end all. But you know what? It makes school a lot nicer to be around from week to week when the football program's going good. I've heard that at Central it's really picked up in the last 3 years, and it's just a good feeling around the school.
Well, we hope so. You know, we work hard at it. Like I said, it's not a head coach thing. It's a total staff thing. And also, I like to mention for those guys, they work hard. We just got our report cards on Monday, and we have roughly 78 kids on the team, and we had 55 of our 78 kids had a 3.0 or better on their report card. So, you know, it's like you said, it's not only athletics, but also academics. And, you know, we just try to round them in social, mental, and physical all the way around.
Very good. Well, in between us looking at highlights, we're obviously going to talk about your program and some thoughts on some of these games if you guys have some. We're going to take a look at Terrebonne and McDonough. Terrebonne 2-0, having a great year. Smashed Ellender in game one. Came back with an impressive win against Lafayette High last week. McDonough comes into town. Now, this is not McDonough 35. This is McDonough. Mike Williams, nice pass out there to Kirby Bovalan. And as my script says, he gets tackled. Here's Mike Williams, and that's what he does well. He's a guy who can move well. Unfortunately, on this particular pass, he's intercepted. There you see McDonough in the bright yellow. You guys ever thought about wearing uniforms like that?
Not yet.
That's pretty yellow. It's your school colors, but it's pretty yellow. Good defense by Terrebonne High School as a host of Tigers in on the tackle. Again, McDonough with the ball here. And this was the theme of the night for McDonough, getting tackled in the backfield as they came up with no points in this game. Good job by Terrebonne High School. McDonough punts down to Terrebonne. And Kirby Bovalan, good athlete on a nice return right there. Defensive back. Kirby is only a junior. His dad was a good athlete over at South Terrebonne back in the day. Played at Northeastern, Louisiana, which is no longer Northeastern. And here's an interception by Terrebonne High School. On the interception, George Veals brings it down deep into McDonough territory. Ball handing off to Dominique Matthews, and he can jitter around, but you jitter around too much and you don't get too much. Kind of looked like a guy that I know he likes a whole lot, Reggie Bush, on that particular play. Here's Mike Williams on the pass, a nice pass to Roy Williams. Roy Williams gets in for a touchdown. That's becoming a common theme for these guys. Matt Williams comes in, and he's going to kick the extra point for Terrebonne. Not as high a scoring game as a lot of people would have thought, but Terrebonne does get the job done tonight. Most of their points come in the first half of this game as they just kind of play it out in the second half. Here is McDonough again as they drop back. Larry Colwart passes it out to Devontae Cook for a short gain. McDonough did not spend very much time in Terrebonne territory. Dominique Matthews on a nice little run right there. He runs out of bounds, and there you see the final score. Terrebonne 20, McDonough 0. So a good win for Terrebonne. Terrebonne goes out to 3-0 on the year. Boy, I tell you what, District 8-5A doing well. Overall, 15-6 total on the year this year, so it's looking up. St. James, East St. John, final score we got was from the fourth quarter, the very end of the fourth quarter, 34-27. So we don't want to say that East St. John won this. That is from the Acadian Ambulance Service. So if we get a final score of that before the game ends, we'll certainly let you know. Obviously, you guys, when you were in the Jamboree, you saw South Lafourche.
Right.
And when you see in district teams and stuff, you start hearing the buzz and stuff. Terrebonne, the buzz about Terrebonne, I guess, is athletic.
Yeah.
And you saw that last year, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is really the first clips we've seen of Terrebonne yet this year. And, you know, like you said, word on the street is that they're loaded with athletes. It's going to be very interesting. And once again, those guys winning, us winning, PowerPoints. That's what it's all about, getting these non-district wins. It's tremendous. It's very important when it comes to playoff time. So, and that's what we're excited about, everybody around winning. It's going to be a great race.
Well, a game we're going to look at next, and I'll ask Jason to cue this one up if he could find it, South Terrebonne against Douglas High School, happened last night. You saw Douglas in the Jamboree. South Terrebonne is a team that, I hate to bring up a bad memory, but last year, nothing went right for you in that game, quite honestly. It was a game going in where you were probably a little bit of a favorite. And ironically enough, the year before, they have a kid like Philip Livas, and you'd play well in that one, but last year it just didn't jive for you guys. Yeah. So how important is it to get off to a good win in the district?
It's very important. You know, last year when we played them, we had a little momentum going, and the wheels just fell off. And that game, I can't remember what week it was, but we didn't have a fumble all year. And that game, I believe we ended up with 8 fumbles, all on our side of the field. And they did a tremendous job taking advantage of it and really getting after us. So we're excited about, you know, starting with those guys, and we're excited about district play. So
Travis, talk about the wing tee a little bit. Any special problems that come up with that? Do you have to change everything from the first 3 teams you saw this week? This year?
And the way we play defense at Central Lafourche, and we play assignment football. I mean, we play against our offense from the spring, the fall, all year long, and we get to play those guys, and you have to be fundamentally sound to play the triple option. You got to be able to tackle the dive, the fullback, and the wing tee kind of is the same way with it. You got to play responsibilities, and you got to know what keys to read. And going into this week, Bonneville ran the wing tee, so we got an extra week of preparation here. We didn't plan that by any means. We popped the film in on Saturday, and we said, wow, these guys, we get wing tee 3 weeks in a row. We got Bonneville, South Terrebonne, and then HL Bourgeois. So the kids will get their fill of it, that's for sure.
Well, let's look at the highlights from last night. This at South Terrebonne Memorial Stadium. South Terrebonne against Douglas. Quentin Lered, a good throwing quarterback, passes it to Mitchell Hutchison for a touchdown. This was in the second quarter in this game. Glenn Johnson is sacked right there by Ethan Basco, as that also in the second quarter. When the defense for South Terrebonne kind of started to play well, Zach Hebert runs it up the middle for a touchdown for South Terrebonne. And here Quentin Lered hands it off to Jamal Stewart. It's his first time back. He was hurt actually in the Jamboree, and he's back running the ball. There is number 7, Jaquez Flores. He scores a touchdown. This game was actually relatively close going into the second quarter, and then South Terrebonne's defense just came alive and pretty much took over the game, as you can see them doing that right here. Jackson Dominique tries to carry it, but he doesn't get much. Tackled by Drew LaBeouf, and then Quentin Lered's back. He gets sacked for the Gators. He's sacked by Jaquez Blanco for them. And we saw Dancing Gators. Did you see Dancing Gators in there? My script said Dancing Gators. I didn't see Dancing Gators, but South Terrebonne wins it nevertheless, 42-8. Actually, the only scoring for Douglas was the return of a kickoff after one of South Terrebonne's last scores. So South Terrebonne goes on to win that, 42-8. Mandeville defeats West Jefferson 10-6. There's a few teams in the area that have seen West Jefferson in the recent past, so we threw that score up there for you. South Terrebonne, a team that in the area probably has, you know, with Coach Curlin, the most consistency on the coaching staff and stuff, and I'm sure it brings up a problem of facing a team that you know what they're going to do, but they're going to have some hard-nosed kids that are going to come out and play hard every week.
Oh, exactly. You know what to expect from them. They're going to be coached extremely well. They're going to play hard. It's a traditional South Terrebonne team. Regardless of the talent, they're going to show up and they're going to play all, you know, the whole game. And it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be exciting. It's a great way to kick off our district race.
Very good. When we come back, we're going to look at another game that happened last night over at John L. Goodrich Stadium on the campus of Nicholls State. E.D. White and South Lafourche, a great game. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we get back from this commercial break.